A record number of canceled real estate purchase agreements in July, and grim unemployment news. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance, put out by Business Insider, and written by Kelly Clunan, titled, "Housing Supply is Surging as a Record Number of Buyers Get Cold Feet Amid Sky-High Prices." The author of this article referenced Redfin data, which revealed that active home listings rose a record 13.7% year over year in July. That increase is mostly due to a record 59,000 canceled home purchase agreements during the month, accounting for 15.8% of all homes under contract. Here are my thoughts. I remember going to a real estate continuing education event once, and this seasoned agent said he hates when he sees agents taking selfies of themselves next to their listing signs and then posting on social media that they just sold another one, when in fact, the listing just went pending. His point was the agents didn't sell those properties yet. There are so many things that could happen between when the purchase agreement is accepted and the date of closing. For example, underwriting might find a problem with the buyer's file. The title search could reveal a problem with the property. The buyer may lose his or her job before closing. The inspection might reveal something not to the buyer's liking. Some people think purchase agreements are ironclad. I'm here to tell you that isn't necessarily the case. I've heard plenty of stories about buyers who have gotten out of their purchase agreements because they changed their minds, and they still got their earnest money back. Some had their lenders, who they were friends with, write a letter indicating there was a financing problem and the purchase agreement was contingent upon financing. Understand, real estate purchase agreements are state-specific. Practices in one state may be quite different in another state. I'm just telling you that I've heard some crazy things that have happened between buyers and sellers in the past. It's frustrating when deals fall apart. This impacts a lot of people who are depending on the closing in order to get paid. When you are in sales for a living, you need to get accustomed to disappointment at times. I'm not surprised to hear about 59,000 canceled home purchase agreements. I have to wonder if this will increase moving forward. Perhaps we will see some sellers get back to reality with their prices as time goes on. While some homes on the lower end of the spectrum are still flying off the shelf, I've noticed a lot of expensive homes just sitting on the market, especially some of these larger homes that were built in the 1980s and 1990s that haven't had any updates. A lot of people know it will be expensive to update all of those yellow oak cabinets, ceramic tile floors with brown grout, brass door handles and hinges, and let's not forget the Hollywood light bulbs in all of the bathrooms and the colored laminate countertops. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, "The housing bubble needs to deflate. It could take a while. Sellers don't like to cut prices. If you buy now, be prepared to be upside down for years, even with a big down payment." The next commenter said, "If you can't get insurance now, you still won't be able to get insurance later. This is the reason most home purchases are falling through." I'm going to chime in about that comment. This really depends on where you live. If you live in a high-risk area, such as near a coast, this may be more prevalent. There are still plenty of people in other areas of the country that can get insurance. However, it is getting a lot more expensive, and some carriers are getting really picky. The next commenter said, "The crash is coming in 2025, and it will be 50% or more due to a major recession." I'm going to chime in about that comment as well. No one can predict with that level of certainty what is going to happen with the housing market or the stock market. And we have a Fed that can get very creative at times. They could come out with some new fancy sounding program that gets everyone excited, and then markets could rally, regardless of how grim the data looks. What do you think about all of these canceled purchase agreements mentioned in today's article? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I just talked about what is going on in the housing market, which isn't good news. This next story is going to really shock you. I read this on Yahoo Finance, written by Josh Schaffer, titled, U.S. Employment Falls by 818,000 in Latest Government Revision. According to the author, the U.S. economy employed 818,000 fewer people than originally reported as of March 2024, showing the labor market may have been cooling long before initially thought. The revisions are a yearly practice from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Final revised numbers are expected to be released early next year. Here are my thoughts. What is up with all of the revisions lately? Now, I'm not implying anything here, but I'm sure there are people who may get the impression the government is releasing positive data, so everyone is under the impression that everything is great. This way, the markets can continue to rally. Then, after people have forgotten about it, they quietly release a downward revision. In my opinion, 818,000 is significant. Are you surprised the labor market is not what you thought it was? I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, "That's not a revision. That's a major manipulative mistake with a 100% impact over the markets. Somebody has to be accountable, fired, and imprisoned. That's a big part of the beginning of the ongoing recession." The next commenter said, "How could they have been so wrong? This is incredible and no explanation. There needs to be a press conference with the BLS. Someone needs to explain this. How can we trust any of the data coming out of the government?" The last comment that I'm going to share with you is pretty long, but I found some parts of it to be interesting. I'll share the first 2/3 of this long comment with you. This guy said, "I used to be a Boy Scout. I went to church. I served in the military. I believed the government had our best interests in mind. At 68, I now believe most governments lie to us constantly. Ukraine, COVID, and what the Democrats or Republicans say is often one-sided, with skewing snippets of speeches to bend or revise what was meant. Up until a week or so ago, I used to believe that at least the financial reports from federal agencies were reasonably accurate. Now it's like, well, they lie about everything else. Why should the Federal Reserve, OMB, CPI reporting be any different? I really feel sorry for kids being born today. We used to live in a great nation. We don't anymore. I am not sure even voting makes any difference anymore either." Well, my friends, the commenters always have strong opinions about things. I'm curious, what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.